Me, who am I? Do I represent the mind? Am I the body with the mind within it? Am I a member of an extraterrestrial race that visited Earth in the distant past? Was God the one who made me? Who am I? Is, in the opinion of English philosopher, author, and speaker Alan Watts, the most significant question a person may have. He spent a long career trying to unravel the mysteries of human existence as an interpreter of Eastern philosophies, including Taoism and Zen Buddhism. Watts contrasted our incapacity to bite our own teeth to the difficulty we seem to have in recognizing who we are and who we aren't. For this reason, he employs similes and metaphors to illustrate his views. He stresses in his lectures that we are far more entwined with the universe than we realize, and that our perception of our separation from the outside world is an illusion. Thus, we can inquire, what is this illusion? And who am I, then, if I'm living in an illusion? This video offers insights on Alan Watts' ideas and philosophy regarding our true selves and false selves. Distancing. The way the mind sees the world suggests that it is in some ways distinct from it. Everything we see, including the sky, cars, and people on the streets, appears to be outside of us. However, our perceptions of what is outside of us are truly created inside of our minds. There would be no colors, smells, noises, or tactile sensations without the mind. Now, this does not imply that the skull contains the entire world. The objects we sense are, in fact, situated outside of the skull when it comes to their placement in 3 dimensions. Thus, the universe that the skull makes is contained within it, and the world is created inside the skull. Thus, we witness a mutually dependent link between our minds and the outside environment. The world as we know it would end in an instant if humans were eliminated. There might yet be other realms, such as the world of dogs, where smell rules, or the world of flies, where many eyes see. However, our planet will vanish. This implies that the universe itself becomes meaningless in the absence of anything through which to view it. If everything in the cosmos were devoid of consciousness, even in the slightest through waves or touch, for example, the universe would not exist, as there would be nothing to see it. Nothing can determine whether anything exists. Furthermore, if something or someone objects to this notion, it indicates that at least one of the two is present. One is in favor of the idea, and the other is against it. Our surroundings. Many people have come to feel that we are guests in this world, and are not a part of our surroundings, due to our sense of separateness, and that intelligence was thrown into it and began to develop when the Earth was still dead. This intelligence may have originated as liquids or plants that spread throughout the lifeless planet, and gave rise to the modern Earth. Alan Watts saw this process in a different way. According to him, there is no real distinction between intelligent life and rocks, because we are truly emerging from these lifeless rocks. Human life sprang from a formerly, quote-unquote, dead planet, in the same manner as an apple tree produces apples. We have a propensity to believe that we are in some way above these rocks, as well as the trees, plants, animals, and other living things on Earth. However, in Watts' view, that would be like to an apple believing it is higher than the apple tree. Indeed, compared to the sand in the Sahara Desert or the water in the Pacific Ocean, our bodies are more intricate and smart. On the other hand, we are totally reliant on the things we despise. We wouldn't be here without sand and water. As a result, humans are essentially the products of the cosmos, endowed with the remarkable capacity to be aware of, consider, discuss, and so forth about the universe. As Watts puts it, through our eyes, the universe is perceiving itself. Through our ears, the universe is listening to its harmonies. We are the witnesses through which the universe becomes conscious of its glory, of its magnificence." End quote. The illusion. Now, what's the illusion? First of all, Watts argues that since we are all a part of a one, massive manifestation, the concept of a separate self is unreal. Like waves that come, leave, and transform into different forms of existence, so too are we products of change. We could argue that there is no central soul or I, and that we are just bundles of happenings or occurrences that are entwined with the happenings around us. The term no self used by Buddhists refers to this idea, which is ironically very hard for a mind that thinks in concepts to understand, because it suggests that what we perceive to be a distinct soul, for want of a better term, is actually something borderless and uncontained. In addition to isolating ourselves from the rest of the cosmos, we also attempt to make sense of it by categorizing, conceptualizing, defining, generating ideas, and so on. However, the act of classifying something suggests that we cling to it. In other words, we pick out a certain aspect of the manifestation, enclose it in a cage, and give it a label. However, that isn't how the world operates. Just when we believe we have something under control, it eludes us. Concepts and ideas are therefore merely incidental. They are indicators of how things function, not the mechanism themselves. The object we thought we had named has already altered once we have given the unnameable a name. For instance, we give a child a name. However, since we gave it a name, the child has changed significantly. Despite this, we cling to that name for a long time, and associate it with the thoughts and perceptions we have of that child, even though it changes constantly and finally becomes someone else. As a result, we see the world through conceptions: Chinese, British, communist, capitalist, republic, monarchy. These ideas have served as the foundation for all the rules we've made for one another about how to think, speak, live, and interact with one another, about who we are, who they are, and what we and they stand for. The majority of us now believe that this is life and are unable to see past this enormous web of concepts. So, when someone asks, "Who are you?" most likely, the answer is based on a concept rather than on reality. I'm an accountant. I'm a woman. I'm an Englishman. I'm a philosopher. But can these statements truly capture who we are when we take a closer look? No, they don't. They don't tell the whole tale. At most, they highlight distinguishable elements. The limitations of our senses cause us to overlook, generalize, and leave things out of our perception. The illusion is produced by this artificial construction of concepts, categories, and ideas intended to define the undefined. Who are we? Who are we right now, really? We can't, nevertheless, assert that we transcend our delusions. However, words alone cannot fully capture who we are. The Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. Or, in Alan Watts' words, the menu is not the meal. We are unable to discover who we are because of our efforts to do so. The indefinable cannot be defined. We are unable to turn the transient into the permanent. So even if we could articulate the precise nature of something, it would have already changed by the time it was recorded. Thank you for watching.